Ready? Yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
How
please.
are, how is everyone? How is everyone doing?
Good,
Yeah,
ma'am. What about you?
I'm
Good,
also
good, good.
good. Thank you so much for asking. I hope everyone had a good day today. If not, then we'll try to make it a good day for you today by making some interesting theories and topic for you. I hope it's interactive for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask by raising your hand. We have our change makers today with us. We have Ariman, Jaydev, Shivain, Anya, Anshika, and Dharyesh with us today. Is Eva joining us, guys?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, no
No.
problem. ठीक है. So we have these change makers with us today, guys. So they will be taking the session for you today. So I may hand it over to them now. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. Good evening. You must all know about calculus, but have you ever wondered how it can be applied in real life? Or how about the fascinating ideas in maths behind what makes online messaging and banking so secure? Today, as you must have already seen, we will be discussing about some of the topics in mathematics and how they're used all around us. From the use of calculus in engineering to profit optimizations in finance, we'll also be talking about how the unpredictability of prime numbers has allowed us to implement military grade security and encryption in real life.
Okay. Integration. Integration in math is a part of calculus. In a nutshell, it helps us add up tiny parts to get a whole. It's used for many things. It's used to calculate the areas under curves, find volumes and load distributions when we need to apply it to real world applications, and we can also use it to understand change over space and time.
Okay, sorry, just a second. Can we first clear the basics of the audience's understanding what is a calculus? What are the basics of it? Can you clarify that, guys, first?
Yeah, so when it comes to at least integration, as Anya said, is finding the area under a graph or a curve. So we'll go over how to solve and how to use integration later. If you look at the picture right here, you can find area of sections underneath the graph. So let's say when we have shapes such as triangles, circles, and squares, it's easy to just find the area by multiplying length times width or pi r squared. However, for graphs, they can vary, and we cannot just do something like length times width. So we have integration for that. So as you can see here, we have a curve here, and we can find the area of just this section using integration.
Yeah, so to add on to that, let's just everyone, can you tell me what you think integration is really quick, just on the chat? Because there's a lot of people here, so we can just see what everyone thinks of integration, and then maybe we'll build off of that because we have a lot of examples in the coming slides, and I think that'll make integration a lot more it'll help you understand it a lot more, because right now it just seems like, oh, in the textbook you write this and you solve this equation. Okay, Krishna and Rajveer, can you tell us what you think about integration?
Yes, Anshika. So from integration, I can conclude a word that is integrate. To integrate means to sum up of small things, means addition of small things. That is what I can conclude.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. If anyone else wants to answer on the chat or anyone wants to raise their hand, you're allowed to. And also, you can ask us questions anytime. We do explain a little bit complex topics further on. So anytime you have a question, you can stop us and you can raise your hand and you can ask. That's what we're here for. Okay, so now we'll be looking at an example where integration is used in real life.
We can use integration when we're building structures. So when engineers build structures such as really big bridges, big buildings, or just like small houses in general, It helps the integration specific helps in designing foundation and beams, calculate how weight spreads through a building, and it can also help to predict how structures respond to loads, wind, or earthquakes, so that we can build mechanisms to counteract those um, effects. For example, bridges, as I said, when building a bridge, integration helps to calculate the bending movement at every point. It is so, and it ensures the shape of the arches support the load that the specific arch is made to support the load it will have. It makes bridges both strong and efficient. Yeah, and like high-rise buildings like the Burj Khalifa, so really tall buildings, like anything, the Burj Khalifa, the Empire State Building, these buildings are really high up, so they experience a lot of wind pressure and uneven weight, earthquake forces, and engineers can use integration to predict how the structure bends, twists, or stays firm, and like they can use this to create mechanisms so that the buildings don't get damaged.
All right, everyone. So now thank you to Anya for explaining us a few ways we can use integration. And now I will try and help all of you understand how we can apply the theoretical knowledge we know into a practical sense. So now to start, we need to identify the rate of growth of the load with respect to x distance from one side. So basically in integration, everyone knows how we need to have the variable x, and this is how we're gonna create an equation around it. So in this example, let's say we have a beam fixed on one end that has a length of 4 centimeters. We need to identify whether load varies linearly or exponentially. Now we know the variation. For just this case, we can assume that it is 2. So we are building a function now. We are making x into wx, which is a function we can use and integrate, making wx equal to 2x. If you could switch over to the next slide, please. So now that we found wx, we can find the antiderivative of wx by applying integration or finding the area under this graph that is seen right in front of you. So once you do that, you find out that wx is equal to 2x. Integrating that will give you x squared. And once you sub in the values of 4 and 0, which we learned from earlier was the upper and lower limit, we can figure out that the force applied is 16 newtons. This is a lot of heavy stuff, but I hope you guys are able to catch up and keep up with this. Now we've gotten the answer of 16 newtons, and that's the total amount of force that's being applied on the beam. Using this calculation, we can figure out if the building will be able to, say, maintain under such levels of force, and what is a possible force, or what kind of wind pressure or uneven weight would have to be faced by the building, and whether it's capable of facing that. So now we'd like for you guys to move on to the next slide and then try this question.
Okay,
Thank you,
can we
Darius.
take a pause first?
Yeah, sure,
Can
sure,
we
sure.
take a pause and first ask them if they've understood?
Yes, sure. If anyone has a doubt whatsoever, please do not hesitate to ask. Either raise your hand or put it in the chat, and I'll be happy to help you guys with it.
Has everyone understood? Please give a thumbs up if you've understood. And if you've not understood, please raise your hand and ask us the questions. It's completely fine if you're not able to understand even the basic things. We can answer your question. Yes, Sejal, please go ahead.
Hello. So, I didn't get anything. Could you please repeat it?
Okay. All right. In simple language, I'll just try to shorten it and explain. What we try to do is we try to build an equation. So in this case, we're building an equation called Wx, which is how much force is going to be applied. Now to build Wx, we need two things. We need the variable x, which has been taken, and we know that variable x has a length of 4 centimeters, right? So we know that the upper limit for the integration equation we're going to use is 4 and the lower limit is 0. Now, we found in this case, we've assumed the variation. Usually you'll have it given to you anyway. And we've taken it as 2. So Wx is equal to 2x. Then what we have to do is we have to integrate 2x, which gives us x squared. And after integrating 2x into x squared, we substitute the upper value, which is 4, which we got earlier, and we substitute the lower value as well, and we subtract the lower value from the upper value, which is 4 square minus 0 square, which is 16 newtons. So the total amount of force that we can apply on the 4 centimeter 4 centimeter beam is 16 newtons, otherwise it will break. So that's basically what I was trying to explain. If there's still something I could explain better, if anyone still has any doubt, please do let me know and I'll try to fix it the best I can.
I also want someone to explain me if they've understood the can you go back onto the slide, Harish, please? Yeah, the first paragraph, last sentence, we need to identify if the load varies linearly or exponentially. What are these two word meanings? Can someone please explain that? If you
Yeah.
have understood. If you have not understood, then you can ask, what does it mean?
Yeah, Krishna.
I understood the linear and exponentials.
Okay, could you explain it for us?
Yes, so linear is something which is increasing one by one, and when it comes to exponent, it increases by power. 2 raised to 2, that means it will become 4. If it's 2 raised to 3, then it will become 9. It is actually raising by power if it's exponent.
Yeah. One thing I would just like to add on, your explanation was great. I would like to add on for linearly, it's not just 1 by 1, it can even be by 2s. It's by a constant rate. But yeah, otherwise you had a really good explanation. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a question. Imagine you have a beam which is 6 meters long now. The distributed load on the beam increases linearly from 0 newtons per meter at the left end, where x equals 0, to 80 Newton meters at the right end, where x equals 6. Calculate the total load applied to the beam using integration. It's a little complicated, I know, compared to the previous one, but that was the purpose of this, to challenge you guys and to see if you can apply the concept we've just learned to more difficult questions. So if you guys do have any questions about this example, please do raise your hand and ask. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to try it out.
And just add your answers on the chat, so we can see if who like answered it. And again, just ask any questions you want. We can explain the question.
Yes, Sangeeta. I'm audible, right? Or
Yes, yes, you are. Sangeeta, you
okay.
need to unmute. You're on mute. Yes.
Dizzy, what is mean by beam?
Beam, like you know, in like structures, it's a construction, right? They'll have like the metal, I don't know how to say it. Like I can try to pull up an image if you'd like. Wait, hold on. I might have an image back here,
I
like
think
these
we have a
right here.
diagram. Yeah.
Right here, if you look at when buildings are being made, these are beams. If it helps you guys picture it better, just imagine like a stick. Does that clear your doubt?
kind of like a rectangle. So it starts here, it ends here. So like that, like a rectangle. That's basically it. And
Yeah.
then can you go to the diagram on the example slide, the 0 to 4 thing? It's like, yeah, this thing. So this is kind of basically a beam, but in 2D. So it starts from 0 centimeter, goes to 4 centimeter. That's how long it is. So that's kind of like a simple visual of it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll show the answer now. So what we find from this is that the variation is 3x. For every centimeter that we look at, 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, it is increasing by 3. At 6 centimeters, the load is 18 newtons. At 0, it's at 0, it is 0. So from there, we can calculate that the slope will be 3. So Wx, the function of the load, will be 3x. From here, we can integrate it from 0 to 6, and we get 3x squared by 2. And then from here, we input the values 0 and 6, and we find that the total is 54 newtons. You can also do the same by graphing. So let's say for this slide, we graphed x, or the position, with Wx, and then we found the area with the area of the triangle. Since it's linear, when it's exponential, it'll be a curve, and then you'll have to use integration. But since here it's increasing at a constant rate, we can graph it and you have a straight line, and then we can find the area under the curve because we'll have straight lines. Does anybody have any questions? Because I know that was a lot. Yeah, Kushagra.
Can you please explain the answer, please, again?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Can you please explain the answer he's saying?
Okay, so would you like me to explain the solving steps or just the answer?
Just a solution, please.
Okay, so with this solving, here we inputted the value 6. This is the end point. 6 like here, wait. Instead of 4, imagine this is 6 and this is 0. So we took, because as load is applied, the beam will sort of, not visibly, but it'll start to bend a little bit. It'll feel the force. And so as it bends, we find the variation at each point. We can then graph that, or we can use integration, and we calculate the total amount that it is, total amount of force that is causing it to bend. So here in this integral, 3x squared by 2, we input 6. So it becomes 3 into 6 squared by 2. And then we subtract that from the left side. So we take the two ends of the beam and we calculate the amount of force total. We subtract it from the force being applied to the end and just start. And then we get 54 newtons, which is the total amount of force that is being applied. And this is the total amount that can be applied until, the beam breaks. So if we were to apply 54.1 newtons, the beam will start to feel strain and it'll break. Does that answer your question?
Yes, please. Understood. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Correct me if I pronounce your name wrong. Sanaya?
How did you get EXP?
How did I get 3x squared? Okay. So, hold on, wait. I think this might be a mistake on my part. Hold on. Yeah, it'd be 3x cubed, right? Yeah, I think that's a mistake on my part. My bad, guys. Yeah, so it'd be 3x cubed. Can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it'll be 3x cubed, right?
Oh no, it should
Right.
go down
3
because it becomes
down, right?
x squared upon 2. So when you integrate, you add an exponential value and then you divide it by that. It's a common law of integration. X squared becomes, 2x becomes x squared, because it becomes x square upon 2, and then the 2 cancels out from both ends. It's correct only.
They are asking about the question like WS 3x. How did you get the question 3x?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
Sanya, can you please
Only
repeat?
question is yes.
And please,
Question is
a little louder, please.
yes. How did person it has again develop only 3x? How did you get the person 3x? Please?
I couldn't catch you. I don't.
Can you write
You're
it on the
cutting out a
chat,
lot.
maybe?
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the chat, because we can't understand. But we would love to answer the question. So just write it on the chat and then we'll read and answer.
Okay. So Wx is a function of the load, the amount of load being applied. And so like here, we said that we were given that the variation is 2. So at 1 centimeter, the amount of load is 2 newtons. At 2 centimeters, the load is 4 newtons. It increases by 2 for every point, for every unit centimeter. Here, we're saying that at 6, the amount of force is 8 Newton meters, 18 Newton meters, and at on the leftmost 0, x equals 0, it is 0. So if you do y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, you get 18 by 6, which gives you 3. So for every unit centimeter, the load is being increased by 3. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Any more questions? Okay, great. If you guys have any other questions later on, ask in the chat. I'll be happy to respond. We'll be moving on then.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to differentiation. I know we're going pretty fast, but you can pause anytime and ask questions. So for calculus, there's main like 2 things we think about, right? Integration, differentiation. So I just first want to ask, can anyone tell me what they think of when they first think of differentiation? Like what is it when you first learn about it? What does it do basically? So you can raise your hand or you can type on the chat. Either works. Okay. Yes, it's Krishna again.
Yes, ma'am. So differentiation is just opposite of integration. In integration, we conclude, and in differentiation, we distribute. It's divide. It's a kind of division of big part in small parts.
Yep, exactly. Thank you. That was a very good explanation. Oh, okay. Saloni, you can also
we use to
give.
find
Oh, yes.
rate of change of anything, rate of change of time
Yes,
for small time,
exactly.
like 0.01 second or something, for very, very small.
Yes, exactly. Saloni, you can also answer and then we'll move on. But that was a very good explanation, Krishna.
I think so. Different between two things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like Krishna explained, it's just dividing a big thing into small parts, so getting the rate of change. And a lot of people have replied on chat, so thank you. I've understood that a lot of people know what differentiation means. So we're gonna apply it to a big field today. So the last thing, integration, we applied to like physics kind of, right? Structures, construction. For differentiation, we're gonna apply to economics. Okay. So this is just like a brief slide. I think most people already know what differentiation is, but I'll just, read this out a little bit just to summarize it. As Krishna said, it's the rate of change with respect to a variable, X, Y, anything. And we use it a lot in physics, so that's not exactly what we're talking about today. We use it for speed and acceleration. Oh, hello. Who's on mute? Can you unmute or do you have like an answer to say? Mansi, can you? No. Okay, that's fine. So it's very commonly used in physics. So for example, if you want to get the acceleration, that's just the rate of change of velocity. So it's a very common example that you've seen like word problems and questions. But today we're going to talk about it in economics. So next slide.
Um, so let's start with a real world business challenge, maximizing profit. Suppose you're running a business or selling a product. Your goal is not just to sell, but to make the maximum profit as possible. So revenue and cost both depend on how much you produce. So how do we find the exact spot that uses the maximum number of units that will earn us the most amount of money? So to do this, we use profit is equal to revenue minus cost, where revenue is how much you earn or how much you get from selling the product, minus the cost, how much you put into the product and to sell that. So now we differentiate the profit function with respect to the number of units. Next slide. So now in this, we are going to take an example of a lemonade stand. So let's break down the cost of running a lemonade stand. So we can divide this into two parts. One is fixed cost. These do not change with no matter how much you sell. For example, stall rent might be 30 rupees per hour or something, and the ice, which is 5 rupees, and signboard, which is 10 rupees. So even if you don't sell anything, you have already spent around 45 rupees. So variable cost. Variable cost or these increases with every cup you sell. So for example, lemons, sugar, cup, they all cost around 10 rupees and straw is 2 rupees. So it's 12 rupees per cup. So you have so which should be multiply over here so that it varies. So variable cost. So it varies with the number of lemonades you sell. So it's 12x plus 45. Next slide. So now let's talk about revenue. So now if we look at revenue, which is how much money we bring in. So if you sell 50 a cup for like 50 rupees, your revenue is 50 times the number of cups. But here's a twist. The more you try to sell, the harder it becomes to sell each additional cup. Maybe fewer people want it, or you have to lower your price. That's why we subtract x square. So the revenue function is now 50x minus x square. So this kind of creates like an increasing slowdown, then decreasing, representing the real world challenges like market saturation. Next slide. So can someone recollect and tell me what a profit is? How do you find profit in chat box? Yeah, Sejal, you're right. So revenue minus cost. So from the from the revenue slide, we found out the equation of the revenue, which is 50x minus x square. And from the cost slide, we found out the cost, which is 12x plus 45. So to find the profit, we'll be subtracting revenue from the cost. So it is 50x minus x square minus 12x plus 45, which is 38x plus x square minus 45. So someone can someone differentiate this like one by one? Yeah, you can tell the answer in the chat box. Zainab, you want me to repeat? Which part do you want me to repeat?
I think just the question, I'll explain it really quick. So basically, we know what profit is. And so the equation we basically made really quick, which is also graphed here, which is nice. It's 38x minus x squared minus 45. So we just have this equation, P of x, and we're trying to differentiate it. Yeah, exactly. So Zainab, do you understand the question better, or do you want me to explain like the differentiation process? Either works. It's completely okay. I just wanted to explain the question better in case it wasn't clear. But Krishna, you're right. That is the differentiated equation.
Is everyone
Clear?
understanding? I have not got many answers on chat box as well. Is everyone understanding or are they still solving? Rukmini, Kushagra, Tapsi, Abdul,
Still
Renki.
solving.
What about you guys? Yes, Kushagra.
Still solving.
Still solving. Okay. Okay. We got more answers.
Yes,
Yes,
Tapsi.
that.
Actually, I don't understand the question.
So you have the revenue and the cost here. So over here, what you're going to do is subtract the revenue from the cost to get the profit, as I said in the first slide. So if you subtract the 12x minus 12x plus 45 and 50x minus x square, you will be getting 38x minus x square minus 45. So you have to differentiate it. And tell me the answer on chat box.
How much have you understood, Tapsi? I know you have not understood the whole part. So what is it that you did not understand? Tell me that. Tapsi and Mansi both. Yes, please unmute and say.
Actually, I really don't understand.
Okay, has everyone understood revenue? Give me a thumbs up if everyone has understood revenue. This is for everyone who has not given an answer yet. Okay, that means no one has understood revenue as well. ठीक है. So basically, guys, we need to break it down into what is revenue, what is cost, what is profit. Break it down for them.
Yeah, could you go back to the revenue slide? Yeah. So this is the revenue. So revenue is how much you earn from how much you sell. So revenue is just price times quantity. For example, if you take a cup of lemonade and you sell it for 50 rupees, let's say, so you multiply with the number of units that you sell, so that would be X. So it is 50x. Now you get 50x. So why do we subtract minus x square? So this is to give you an equation like a graph. So first it increases and then it should decrease. So this also stimulates the real world application on market saturation. So the curve slowly increases, slows down, decreases. So that's why we are subtracting minus x square. Did you understand? Okay.
Yogeshwari Madhuri, is it okay for you guys? Are you understanding?
Didi, I still didn't understand the part about how much you sell and how much you get.
Jinal, can I try?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Okay, let's start basics. Okay, let's start basics. They're using the word revenue, which is the correct word to use. If I go to Janta's store and they are selling 3 pencils for 1 rupee each, what is the revenue? What is the earning? Somebody just shout the answer. I can't see, I'm in the car. Just say the answer. They have 3 pencils, 1 rupee each. They're selling it to you. What is the revenue? What have they earned?
3 rupees.
3 rupees. Very good. 3 rupees. Very, very good. 3 rupees. That's his revenue. Okay. Now, that does not take into account how much it cost him to make that pencil. All right. So, revenue he earned is 3 rupees, but it cost him a certain amount to make each pencil. Now, if it cost him 50 paisa to make each pencil, what is his cost for 3 pencils?
1.50 paisa. Means 1.5.
Good. So, 3 rupees, cost was 1.5. So, profit, munafa, profit was how much?
1.5.
Come on, it's easy math.
1.5.
Very good. 1.5. This is all they're trying to show you. Revenue, how much you got when you sold something. Cost, how much it cost to make something. Profit, how much munafa they made. And now they're putting it on a graph and they're just trying to show you how that would work. So now he's going to explain it again. And now you try and see if you understand what they're saying. Got it? Yes? Yes, Didi,
Yes,
I got
please.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. All right, sweetheart. Whoever was teaching you, go for it again. All right? Go for it again.
Yes, ma'am. So as ma'am said, revenue is how much you earn. Like, so it's 50 rupees per cup. So, so you multiply with the number of units that you sell, and you get 50x. And minus x square, as I said, is for the curvature of the graph. It shows in real life how it goes. So it should start minus x square is like really significant. So over here it increases and it slows down over this part. If you can from 10 to 15 units, if you produce it, it starts slowing down. Then the peak is at 19 units. So that's the max, that's the number of units that you have to sell so that you get the maximum profit. And if you continue to sell more, either the people won't, there will be not enough demand, that is, there is not enough people in your street to buy the product, that to buy the lemonade, or so there are some other issues. So that's what we are using differentiation to find the number of units, to find the maximum number of units that you can sell to earn the maximum profit. Did everyone get it, or I can repeat?
Okay, so let me break that down. Markets, we do this in economics all the time, all you commerce students. Supply, demand, right? At what amount of supply / demand, what he's showing you the curve, will we make the max profit? That's all he's trying to show you. And market saturation is when you tapped out. Like if I 19 is the top I can sell to make my maximum profit. Market is now saturated with that. Saturated, complete, soaked. Right? Now all he's trying to teach you is on that curve: supply, demand, revenue, cost, profit. Making sense? Yes or no? Say it. I can't see you because I'm in the car.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Now, Bhaiya, they get it. I think so. For formula technicalities, maybe not, but I think they're getting the concept. Now, I really can't talk for the next 5 minutes, so it's all you. On back to you.
Did everybody understand why the differentiation is being applied and how it works? Yes, Madhuri.
Yes, please. Yes. So I have a simple question. that when like I understood revenue, cost, and profit, but I'm not understanding the x part by 50x minus x. So why are we using x, and what is the meaning of rx? Can you please little break it down for us?
Yeah,
I
could you
think
go
that
back to the
would.
revenues? Yeah. So 50x. So you said a cup is 50 rupees, let's say, and x will be the number of cups that you will sell. So if you sell 2 cups, you substitute 2 in the place of x. So 50 times 2 is 250. Sorry, 100. So you have to break it down like that. So x represents the number of the number of quantity that you're number of cups that you're selling. And you got the 50x part, right? You understood the 50x part.
Yes, 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 please. Yes, got it.
Some Okay, now to the minus x square part. So in real life, let's say the lemonade is in your street side, like in the corner of your street, and there are 5 or 10 houses in your street. A total of around 17 people are living there. Okay, and could you go back to the next slide? So over here, 17 people are there. So one might buy 2 cups per head or something like that. So, but then there would not be enough demand for you. Like there would not be enough people liking your lemonade juice. They might already had enough, or they didn't like the taste, or someone is having other problems that the demand there's not enough demand. That is, there is not enough people to buy your product. So that's how it works on real life. You produce a maximum output, and then at one point you reach the maximum, and then there's not enough either there's not enough people to buy it, or you don't have enough materials to produce it. So to get the exact curvature, like it starts off aggressively, and then it slows down. You reach the max point, which is at 19 units, and then from the max point, you just go down, you lose profit. So that you're making a loss. So that's why we are using minus x square. Minus x square is used to show the graph, the parabola, the up. Yeah, understood?
Yes, yes, please. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
Okay, any other questions? Feel free to ask. If not, then we'll move on.
I think we can move to the next slide. They'll be more clear about the concept
Right.
then.
Okay.
So to summarize this, producing more doesn't always mean that you're making profit. If you, for example, let's take flowers, for example. So for one day, from the producer, you get around 50 flowers or something. And you sold all the 50 flowers. So next day, you think there's enough people to buy it. There are more people who are wanting my flowers. So next day, you buy 60. Then the 60 also gets sold. If you keep increasing this, there'll be more people buying your stuff. That's what you think. But after one point, let's say there are only 100 people in your area, in your city or something. So after that 100 people, there would be not enough people to buy your flowers. So either the flowers get rotten, and it can't be sold. So to find the maximum amount of units that can be used to produce is what we are finding out using differentiation. So this principle is used in manufacturing, retail pricing, and as I said, agricultural output decisions, the flower example I gave, and any business planning or production. Yeah. Anyone has any questions? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, we're all just gonna sit down. We're gonna take a deep breath. We just did a lot of stuff. We did integration and we did differentiation. So the next topic is kind of, we're going beyond calculus and we're doing a very like math topic that's based on one of the things we learned very early on. Okay, so okay, encryption sounds like a very big word, right? I'm just gonna break it down very, very quick. Okay. Basically, for example, if I send someone a message on WhatsApp, okay. I think everyone here has heard of WhatsApp, use WhatsApp, you know, messaging, talking to friends, everything. So when you send a message, there's that thing that pops up on the top, which you can see here as well. Messages are end-to-end encrypted. All that means is that the messages are safe and protected. That means anyone who's in another organization, in another company, the people at the head of WhatsApp, the CEO, boss, whatever, nobody can see your messages. What you say to someone is private, secure. That's what that little lock symbol means. And what we're gonna hopefully learn today is how this encryption, how this protection of message works, because it's very, very math focused. So throughout this slide, before we move on, we're gonna take one example, okay? There's me and my friend Anya, okay? Since it's quite a complex topic, I'm gonna be using us two people to explain how the messaging works, how the encryption here works, okay? So it'll make more sense as we go on, okay? So next slide. Okay, so RSA is a type of encryption. Okay, you don't need to know the full form or anything. There's a lot of different types of encryption, but RSA is a very common one. Okay, that's one type, and it's the one we're going to be learning today. So you don't need to worry about all the other different types of encryption and cryptography, and it's a very broad topic. But RSA is the one we're learning today. So it has two components: public key and private key. Okay, for example, if we at our homes we have a lock, right, and we use a key to open it. So like that only, we have two keys here. Public key is something that anyone can access. So I can give you the key, someone can give me the key, everyone can see it. Okay. Private key is only one person has access. So only I would have access. I will not let you see it. I will not let my friend see it. It is my key only. Okay. So that's the main thing. So if I'm sending a message to Anya here, my friend, remember, the public key will be used to code the message. Okay, so that nobody else can see it. And then Anya will use the private key to uncode it. Okay, so that sounds kind of complicated, but basically, I'm here, Anya is here, right? And I send a message to her and I don't want anybody else to see it. Okay, so I encrypted or coded the message. So I converted it into a bunch of different numbers like 7, 9, dash, dash, exclamation mark. Nobody knows what that means, right? So even Anya is confused. What does this mean? What do I do with this? I don't understand this message. I wanted hello or hi. So she uses the private key, the one only she has, and she decodes it. Okay, that is the main principle. We're going to get into the math of it, but that is what happens, how the message goes, and how nobody else can see it, but only she understands it. Okay, so does anyone have any questions before we get into the math about what this messaging safety thing all is? It's okay if you don't understand. I was very confused as well. Anyone can raise their hand. Or if there's no question, just give me thumbs up. Very good. Yes, thumbs up. Anyone? Is everyone else listening? Everyone thumbs up? Okay. Okay, I think everyone understands. That's good. Okay, we'll get into the math now. Move on. Next slide. Yes. So very good activity. It'll make sense. So I've picked two prime numbers, okay, between 2 and 20. I hope everyone knows what prime numbers are. We learned it in like very early on. So 2 and
Sorry,
20.
Anshika, do you want to revise prime number once? Because
Okay,
or
okay,
else
I will.
that'll
Don't worry.
get complicated.
Yeah. Okay, so what prime numbers are? Oh, does anyone want to tell me what prime numbers are? Write it on the chat. Answer it for me, maybe.
Yeah,
It's okay if
please
not. I can
answer,
also
guys.
explain it.
Yes, may I try this?
Yes, Sangeeta.
Prime number means which number comes in a series, like 2, 4, 6, 8.
Sorry, your voice was cutting. Can you repeat very quick?
Hello.
Yes, Sangeeta,
Yes.
you're
Okay.
audible. Okay, Tapsi, Mansi, do you want to go ahead in the meantime?
Yes, please. The prime numbers means which are divided by themselves only. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I see a lot of people want to answer. It's okay. I'll put more questions. I have a very important question right now that everyone can answer. No worries. I got a lot of answers on the chat as well. So I think everyone understands what prime numbers are, right? Yes, for example, 2, 3, 5. Yes, Krishna. So keep that in mind because I have picked two numbers between 2 and 20. I'm not going to tell you which numbers, but I've picked two numbers and I multiplied them and I got 209, which is a very big number. So now you have to guess what the two numbers were that I multiplied to get 209. You can use whatever method you want. You just have to tell me the two numbers. And they're prime numbers. So 2, 3, 5, 7, think that lane. And they're between 2 and 20. So take your time. I'll give you a minute. You can answer in the chat. You can raise your hand, do whatever. But I want you to tell me what the two numbers were. And it's also okay if you can't. It is very complicated. It honestly would take me a while as well. So it's okay. You can also say, I don't know. So, yes, Krishna.
Didi, can you please repeat the question?
Okay, yes. So I have two numbers, two prime numbers between 2 and 20. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 13, those kind of numbers, any of those two numbers. And I multiplied both numbers together, these mystery numbers that I have, and I got 209. So you have to tell me what two numbers that I multiplied to get 209. Okay, Rinky has given me an answer. Does anyone else want to try as well? Okay. Rinky, you are correct. Good job. Would you like to unmute or write on the chat how you did that? How did you get those two numbers? Oh, Kushagar, did you get the same answer?
Yes, please.
Okay, so could you tell me what you did to get that? Like, what was your process? What maths did you do to get those two numbers?
I actually it was a trick. I was multiplying 19 with all the numbers like 19 into 15, 19 into 14. So I get it by 19 into 11. So it was an easy
Fair
trick.
enough. That's a very good technique. Okay, so everyone got the activity that we tried to do. So now I'm gonna connect this back to all the message stuff I just talked about. Okay, next slide. Yeah, okay. So one thing I hope everyone observed or noticed was that it took very little time for me to multiply them, right? Kushagar had to go through and multiply so many different numbers. I just took two numbers and I multiplied them. But it takes much longer to go through and check with every single number. Kushagar smart, he started with 19, but what if you start with 2 and you go every single number one by one by one? That will take so long, right? And since they're prime numbers, we can't just be like, oh, let me multiply by 2 and then let me multiply by 5. Let me do this, let me do that. No, it's prime number, so only one in itself. So we have to keep checking. So that's what RSA is based on, this encryption, decoding, coding. It basically is based on the fact that when we multiply two prime numbers, very, very big prime numbers. Right now we're using two-digit ones, but in this actual thing in WhatsApp and all these big, big companies, they use like 16 32-digit numbers. So keep like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on and on and on. So very, very big numbers. And it sounds impossible, but with computers, they can store such big numbers. We store them in bits. But what matters is very big 16-digit numbers. And so they multiply these two numbers and get an even bigger number. And now the computer is sitting here like, how do I factorize this? How do I decode this? How can I get back to the two numbers? Like, it doesn't know how to because they're such big numbers. Even with 209, which is only 3 digits, it took us a while to go through and multiply each. What if there's such a big number that so 32 digits, it just keeps going and doesn't even fit in one line? So how do you figure out what were the original two numbers that, it got? And it's a computer, it can try to go through every single number combination, but that will take hours and hours and hours, probably more than hours, because it's just such big numbers and you can't go through and do every single combination. So that's how basically RSA works on the idea. Now I'm gonna use the keys and connect it. Wait, go to the next slide very quick. I think some people might be confused. I'm gonna say this slide and then you can ask me any questions. Okay. So basically, to make the keys that I was talking about, remember public and private key? RSA picks two random large numbers, okay, large prime numbers, like I talked about on the other slide, 16-digit prime numbers, okay? 16 is the number I'm using, but they're also very much bigger than that as well. But it just picks very big prime numbers, okay? And it uses that to generate the public and private key pairs, right? And so basically, let's say it took two numbers and generated a very, very big prime number. And so Anya got this very big prime number, right? But if she doesn't have the two numbers that, were used to multiply it, then she won't be able to do anything. She won't understand it. Okay. So I let's go back to my original example, 11, 19. Okay, I had those two numbers and I multiplied them and I sent 209 to her. And now she's sitting there confused, like what was the original message? What was the message before we did this coding and multiplied them? And so that's why she needs the private key, the two numbers, to be able to understand the message. So that's how it works. This is a very simple form of it. Actually, public and private keys are generated using a formula. And I will show the math in the next slide without the formula. I will show the math, but it might be a little confusing. So that's why I started with a small example of, 11, 19 sent to her. She doesn't know what it is. And so she needs the private key to help her understand what the number was. So that's how prime numbers lead to secure messages. First of all, any questions here? I know it might not be completely clear. That's fine. I'll help answer anything. I do have more slides making actual keys with simple numbers, but I just want to see if everyone's understood right now. Give me a thumbs up. Yes. I hope everyone has understood. I hope nobody's too bored. I know we've been doing this for a while, but I find this key generation very interesting. Okay, thank you. Next slide. So now we have a table, which is kind of scary, but it's okay. It's an easy table. Okay, so back to Anya and me because we're best friends. So Anya, actually, okay, fine. Anya, she picks two large prime numbers. We're here in a very smaller example than we were before because we have more variables this time to deal with. So P and Q, she picked 3 and 11. Okay, random, very, very small prime numbers. So she multiplied them. She got 33. Okay, now she picked another small number. Okay, this is public and private exponents. It's a bit more confusing. It's used in the formula. But right now, let's just say she picked a random small number, which was 3. And she also picked, she calculated D, but for simplicity, we just say that she picked 7. Okay, from that, the public key is 3 and 33, which anyone can see. So my other best friend can see it. My mom can see it. Anyone can see it. But private key, only Anya knows this one. So 7 and 33. And that's what she will use to understand my actual message, my hello, hi, all of that. To everyone else, it's just numbers, but she will understand the actual original ones that I sent her. Okay, next slide actually shows the 333, 733, all these numbers in use. Okay, so, Mansi, do you have a question?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, no questions, that's fine. We all need a break from all this complicated math. Okay, so public and private keys. So everyone keep in mind 333 and 733. Okay, those two pairs are very important. They're the keys we're using to unlock this padlock. Okay, so I want to send the number 5 to Anya. Okay, 5 is a very important inside joke between us. Okay, instead of sending hi, I'm sending her 5. But I want to keep it secret because I don't want my mom to see the message. So I lock it using the public key 3 and 33. Okay, 3 here is used as an exponent. So we're cubing the number 5 basically. There's a formula I will show on the before the last slide, but you don't need to worry about how that's working right now because it has some theory behind it. Like the rules of integration that we learned, the rules of differentiation that we learned. It takes some while to get used to. So I'm just going to explain the simple math right now. So we do 5 cube, we get 125. And then I take the remainder after dividing it by 33. Okay, lots of complicated math, but the calculator does it very easily. So I do 125 divided by 33. I get a number and I get the remainder, right? When we do long division. So that's 26. So I sent 26 to Anya. This is not the original number I want to send. This is not 5. Okay, she doesn't understand 26. That's not an inside joke. She just sees 26. She's like, oh, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know what she's trying to send to me. So Anya has her private key that only she has, that her mom can't see, right? We don't want mom to see. So she tries to unlock it with her private key, which is 7 and 33. So she takes number 26. Oh no, so much math. And she raises it to 7. Okay, 7 is an exponent just like 3. But again, hard math, let's trust the calculator. And then she again divides it by 33. So the thing I was doing with my public key, but she's doing it with her private key. And when you divide by 33 and get the remainder, it actually gives 5, which is what I wanted to send her, which was our inside joke, remember? So that's the original number. So if my mom was checking the phone, right? she would see 26 only. So she wouldn't be able to understand what we're trying to send to each other, na? Right. But then Anya had the private key and she exponent to 7 and she divided by 30, she got the remainder, and so she saw the message. So only Anya sees that, and that's how public and private keys work. In WhatsApp, the platform does it itself, so we don't have to do all this exponent and all this math. The computer does it for us. But this is how it works. This is one type of encryption, how it works. Does anyone have any questions about the maths? Because I'm going to talk about the applications in the next slide, but just this math, all this exponent, remainder, all of that, does everyone understand? Thumbs up, or if question, just raise your hand or type in the chat. Yes, Kushagar.
Actually, I wanted to know about the private key that Ananya can unlock it using her. Can you please explain that part, please?
Yes. So, you know how in the very first part where I wanted to send number 5 to her, I did a lot of math with my public key, right? 3 and 33. So Anya did the same math, but with 7 and 33. Okay. So she took 26, which is what she got from me. She raised it to 7. I can tell you the number where I will calculate it only because I cannot do this much math. But the number she got is very, very big. It's 80318100176. Okay, we don't know what this means. I don't even know what that number means in lakhs and crores. I don't know what it is. But she got this big number, and then she divided it by 33. Which let me do. And it's a number. It's like 24338. Doesn't matter. Oh, yes. Sweetie, I will repeat. Let me clear this first. So she got Anya did all that. She got the number. And then she takes a remainder. It's only 5, surprisingly. Even though we had such big numbers when you did exponent and division, the remainder is only 5, and which is the original number that I wanted. And that's how she got back to the number, the secret message that I wanted to send her. Because I did all this math, got to 26, she did all this math to get back to 5. And so we ended up with the same number. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, please. It's clear.
Okay. That's good. Okay, yes, sweetie. I will explain private and public key again. Are you confused about the maths of it or just the concept of it? Because I can explain the concept as well.
I am confused about maths of it.
Okay, maths. Okay. So public key, everyone can see. Private key, only Anya has. So public key is 333. You don't really need to worry about where this comes from. You can remember the primes that we picked 311 to get 33. But this is just our key. That's all you need to know. 3 is our exponent and 33 is what we're dividing by. Okay. I wish I had something to write on, but basically 5 is the number I want to send to her. Okay, it's my secret message. Okay, it's connected to some joke. I can't think of what it is now, but 5 is what I want to send. So I did 5 cubed because 3 is my exponent. 5 cubed is 125. Then I divided that by 33 and I got the remainder, which is 26. So if you do long division, 125, 33, then over here you will get, or over here, down here, sorry, you will get 26. So instead of sending her 5 and having anyone see it, you know, my mom, I don't want her to see it, I get 26 and that's what I sent to her. And then what Anya does with this 26, she's like, what is this? Where's the 5? I don't understand this. She does the same math I did, but with her key, which is 7 and 33, her private key, which nobody can see. So she takes 26, she raises it to 7, she gets some very, very big number, 803, something. She divides it by 33, and then she gets the remainder, which is surprisingly just 5. And she's like, oh, that's our inside joke. I understand it now. 26 I didn't understand, but 5 I understand. So it's some math. I will show you the formula, but again, even I don't understand it that well. Just exponent, divide, and remainder with your public and private key. That's the math we're doing. Does that make sense, sweetie? Thumbs up if it makes sense. Anyone, everyone. It's like if the maths make sense, if the whole concept in general makes sense. I would like a thumbs up. Okay. If anyone has any questions, yes, okay, that's great. If anyone has any questions, they can ask, but we're gonna get into the applications now. As okay, wait. Applications just like security, like how is this making sure that nobody else can see it? Okay, so there's some complicated terminology, you know, big language on this, but that's you don't need to be scared by that. We got through this whole RSA encryption topic with using small numbers and Anya and me as an example, so we can get through this as well.
And
So-
this is the last topic. This is the last bit. Please pay attention.
This is the last application. Then I'll show you the formula, which you don't need to worry about, and then we'll be done. We'll have gotten through all this math together. So This is just very just theory application, just so you understand how, all this WhatsApp works. You don't need to be worried. There's just 26. Somebody will figure it out and do some exponent. No, nobody will figure it out, because people have random number generators. Like OpenSSL is an example. Java is an example. Maybe some people have heard of Java. It just basically randomly picks the prime. So we're here, 311, we randomly picked it, but computer is completely random. We can be influenced by some factors, but computer is completely random. It just picks like 16 digit, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, big number. And then, so yeah, we don't use 3 and 11 in real life. We use very, very long, like 617 digits. That's an example of it's 2048 plus bits. You don't need to know what bits are. That's 617 digits. That'll probably take up a whole notebook page. Imagine how hard it is for a computer to process that. And there's also verifications built in, but it's another whole topic, like certifications. For example, if we look at a website, you search up wikipedia.com. In the beginning, so it shows HTTPS. That's the security that's used for trusted authorities. And so basically all of that to say, all this maths we did, all this complicated encryption that we did, you can't cheat the system, okay? Encryption almost always works because it's just these large prime numbers. Even like the boss of WhatsApp can't access your messages because the computers don't know how to, yeah, exactly. That's what it stands for. Nice. But as I was saying, actually, I didn't remember the full form either. So thank you for telling me, because honestly, I didn't remember. I just see HTTPS on Wikipedia on my URL, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what it means. But yeah, so as I was saying, you can't change the system. No computers can understand what message you're sending because it's become a very big number with 617 digits. So no computer can factorize it going one by one. You need to have the private key, which only you have, only the user has. So that is the application. Move on to the next slide. Well, I'll show you the equation. I'll tell you the name so you can Google it if you really want, if you're very interested in this topic. It's called Euler's totient. Okay, you can Google that if you want. And this is the Euler's product formula. Euler, I'm guessing some people might have heard because when we do complex numbers, we have Euler's equation. So this is the same person. He did a lot of things back then. He made this formula as well. It looks very complicated, and honestly, I wish I had the time to explain it right now. But I would say you can go Google it, and maybe it'll make more sense. But it is basically the simple stuff I told you with the exponent and the remainder. It is that put into a formula. So yeah, that is further explanation if you wish to. If you like the topic a lot, then you can do that. But that is it. That is all the math we needed to do. Congratulations. Clap for yourself. You did it. You got through it.
Yep. Good job, guys. We made it through. We would like to thank all of you for being a part of this session. We hope that this insightful discussion has sparked your curiosity for the subject and hopefully revealed a little bit more about applied maths. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for asking all the questions. It was very nice. I hope everyone understood the topics we went through.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone understood everything. If you guys have any doubts, please share it across on the group so that we can take your questions.
Tapsi, what's the doubt?
Yes,
I would love to
Samantha.
answer.
Actually, we want to thank you. Thank you for the session and making us understand the difficult concepts.
You're welcome. You guys asked such good questions, and I'm so happy you understood because I love learning about these topics and I love teaching them to you. It's very nice.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for staying back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Hi, everybody. Hello. How are you?
Hello,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Gino, so much. Thank you, Gino, so much. Thank you, kids, so much. We really need what you're teaching us, okay? We really, really need what you're teaching us. And sometimes it takes us a little while to understand, but that's not because you're not teaching well. It's because we have had no exposure to the topic. And with no exposure to the topic, it becomes difficult for us sometimes. So it's not a reflection on any of you in any way. If anything, it's a reflection on our education system and how a whole bunch of our young kids are not getting access to what you are getting access to. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Anshika, I learned about coding today or encryption today. So many of the times I like to listen because I don't know what y'all are teaching about. I did not know the calculation of force was called integration. So I learned that today as you were talking, and I could catch up because I have some frame of reference. The kids are going to take a little bit longer. So I hope you come back and I hope you expand on this topic. Gina, I'll spend 10 minutes with the kids and then yeah, great. Thank you so much again, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Aryaman's screen is being shared yet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
TFG Changemakers, we can leave the call. Thank you.
Okay, I'm working on payroll as always, Wednesdays. All right, listen. What is market saturation? Market saturation. What is market saturation? Dildar.
Dividing the market in saturation. Yeah, dividing the market on the basis of some factors.
We're not dividing anything. In saturation, we're not dividing anything, right? Let's go back to those 3 pencils we were talking about. 3 pencils. I sell each pencil at 1 rupee each. It costs me 50 paisa to make each pencil, right? So my revenue, we said, was 3 rupees. My cost, we said, was 1 rupee 50 paisa. My profit, we said, is how much? Come on, guys, fast.
1.5.
Very good, 150, right? 3 minus 1.5 is 1.5. So that is my profit. Now, what are they talking about market saturation? Listen carefully. This is why we should have done math in he showed you something that looked like this, correct? He showed you something that looked like this, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Now, imagine on the y-axis, I have number of people. Okay, y-axis is number of people. Let me unblur my background, 1 second. Okay, now you should see. On the y-axis, I have number of people. Understand? 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, 60 people, 80 people, 100 people. I have people in a particular area. Understand what I'm trying to say? All right.
Yes.
Now here on my x-axis, I have amount of product sold. Okay, here, amount of the product I'm selling. This is the number of people. Now, when I first launch a new product, maybe not many people know about it. I've not done enough marketing. Not enough people know about it, right? So only these many people are buying it. As we go up, as more people know about it, more people are buying the product. Can you see? More people are buying more product. Now you go higher up, more people are buying more product. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now you go further up, further up, further up till you come to the tip. So now you see the tip up here, right? These many people are now buying this much product. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Now, when we are looking at this particular area, Bolo Back Bay Bus Depot, ya Mahim Basti, just pick an area, okay? A location, an area. Now, when we look at the area, we say, when we sell 50 pencils to 5,000 people, यहाँ पे 50 है, यहाँ पे 5,000 है. Now the market is saturated. We will not go up anymore in this type of pencil. Market, जितने भी लोग वो खरीदने वाले थे या interested होने वाले थे, now we have saturated the market at this point. So if I'm selling my pencils for 1 rupee per pencil, when I hit the sale of 50 pencils to 5,000 people, but my market is saturated. If I don't think of another product or if I don't think of another pricing model, I now it goes down. Less and less people buy for less and less amount, and now I'm done. Do you understand? Now, business people have to use this. They have to calculate this, right? आज iPhone 11 आया, फिर iPhone 13 आया, फिर when do they launch? When they know the market is getting saturated with the present model. Now, ये bad business people start changing once they actually see this. अरे ये हो रहा है, ये वापस नीचे जा रहा है. Good business people run calculations to find out ये कब होगा. That's what they were trying to teach you, how to calculate ये कब होगा. So abhi now I have launched iPhone 15. I will realize that when I sell 50,000 units, the market will be saturated. So, and it will take 13 months for me to sell 50,000 units. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if I am launching iPhone 15 Jan 1st, 2025, and it's going to take me 13 months to saturate the market, then by Jan 1st, 2026, I better release a new phone. नहीं तो ये sales वापस ऐसे जाएंगे. You understand why it is important to learn how to calculate this up? Sejal, let's put it in context with saris. Yes, madam. Yes. Right? Now, let's put it in context with the saris you're selling for your mom. Now, pretend you knew how to calculate by sari type, by area, by color. When will it saturate? Then you can go ahead and go to your wholesaler before that saturates and get your next stock and start marketing it. That means तेरा एक प्रोडक्ट यहां तक पहुंच रहा है, जैसे जैसे यहां पे आया है तेरा एक प्रोडक्ट, तूने दूसरा प्रोडक्ट यहां लेके आई है. You understand? So by the time this product has now reached here, this product has reached here. Now, even smarter business people will be, my one product has reached here. I have enough products in the cycle where another one has reached here, another one has reached here, another one has reached here, and now I'm going to bring another one here. Market saturation. Now, when I know this and I know I know I have a product here and a product here and a product here and a product here, I also know what? How many more people I need to hire. What kind of salary I will need to pay? How much profit am I making from this one, this one, this one, this one, this one? Are you understanding why it's important to learn how to calculate this?
Yes, ma'am.
Durgeshwari.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I understood everything, but I'm not able to understand at which point you get it that this is where my demand and supply are going to match, and now I have to launch another product.
That's
So
what he
what
was trying to
factors do
teach
we have to
you.
consider?
That's the formula he was trying to teach you. In math, what is X? X can be anything that we don't know. So when he was trying to teach you that formula and say 2x and x squared, and he was trying to teach you that formula, all of you wanted to know what is x. We have to calculate x. Durgeshwari, to answer your question, you want to know what is this point? When will it be saturated? This is x. We don't know. This is x. We're trying to calculate 4x. Not 4x, F-O-R, 4x. We're trying to calculate for this value. That's the formula he was trying to teach you. Now, he will show you some part of the chart has shading, right? Some part of the chart, some part of this is called a bell curve. By the way, it's called a bell curve because it looks like a bell, right? It's called a bell curve. Now, some of this bell curve is shaded. But when you're trying to calculate how much time will it take me to get here? Is it going to take me 20 months? Is it going to take me 1 month? How much time is it going to take? How many people is it going to take? Or how many units is it going to take? What is the price it's going to saturate at? There are so many variables to calculate. Mansi, ask me your question. Socho mat, question pucho.
No, please.
Okay. Are you understanding what they were trying to teach you? Sejal,
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
learn this, can you imagine how much money you will make? How much profit you will make?
Yes, please. I was wondering that only, and then I
Then,
gave that wow wala emoji reaction.
yes, and now imagine if you did this not just for total saris, but you broke your saris out by type. Kanjipuram, what is that? Bandhani, something. Now, and that will be that will be when you introduce into production cycles, correct?
Yes, please.
Now you tell me, children younger than you know this. And tell me there's no education gap. Tell me they're not keeping the rich richer and the poor poorer. No, you all just come to this class and you're like, nah, didi this, da. This is real world. They're teaching 13, 14, and 15-year-olds how to create products, how to calculate when they're saturated in the market, what to price the product at, which market to get the product out into, how to encrypt their data so no one finds out. And here you're still trying to learn the language of what is this. Coming to this class is what is going to change your futures, because what you did not get in school and what you're not getting in college, they are now giving you here. This is how you introduce products. This is how you understand how to read data. Graphs, there is, aapke school mein, it was just graph and chart. Abhi, see how much we've done in graph and chart since we started this. How do you create it? How do you read it? How do you use it? How do you make money from it? And by the way, they use bell curves and saturation, not just for profit, Rukmini. Also, they use for the soil, the saturation of market for crops to grow in a particular area. Saturation formulas are used for how many homes can be built in a particular area. Saturation formulas can be used for if this slum builds any more, X, Y, Z is going to happen because it is saturated. The market is saturated. Imagine the power of knowing how to calculate this. Just imagine. It's not as simple as just coming to class on Wednesday and Thursday. You should be reviewing the recording. You should be taking notes from the recording. You should be putting on our chat group questions from the recording. This is powerful stuff. This stuff is powerful stuff. And decisions other people are making based on this data is influencing your lives. Where a politician will campaign, अरे ये मार्केट तो आपका हो ही नहीं सकता है, कैसे पता चलता है उन लोग को? आप यहाँ इस एरिया में जाके आप भाषण मत दीजिए, आप वो एरिया में जाइए, ये एरिया ऑलरेडी उनका हो चुका है. How do they know? Then let's talk about, so this everybody understands now what they were trying to show with this. Now,
Yes.
I want you to go back and review this recording and see if you can follow the formula they were teaching you. Start plugging in numbers and see small numbers like 1 rupee, 50 paisa, numbers that can sit in your head. Point 2, they were trying to teach you, also very important. What they were trying to teach you was encryption. Iran, Pakistan, not Iran, India, Pakistan. Things are encrypted, coded. One Indian commander should be able to talk to another Indian commander without any Pakistani commander finding out what they are saying. So they will send codes. So they will send 1, 8, 10, 24, whatever they send. And he has to know what his commander is saying like this, not pura paper, pencil, leke, calculate karne ka. Encryption. Encryption is used for people who work within the stock market. You think about all your encryption is used for people who build warrior planes, weapons. This is all money. This is all money. You don't know the basic formulas and terms for what is influencing the economy, what is influencing money, what is influencing growth. Understand what you're doing in a STEM class. You're not just coming so you get new gyan. Got it or no? Yes, I see some of you have got it and some of you are like, "Arey yaar, this is still gyan."
Yes, please.
All right, now I gotta go. I have payroll to submit and I'm 1 minute late. All right, chalo. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Keep asking questions in your class, right? These didis and bhaias, they want to teach you. But if you're like, yes, I understand, then they are just going to go. But you, like you did today, some of you are really proud of you. Sorry, I still don't understand. Sorry, I still don't understand. Sorry, I still don't understand. It is not embarrassing. You have to keep saying you don't understand. Do you understand? All right. Chalo. Bye. Love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.